Dean Kesmenta here, your coach. Hope you are well. So we're in week 1, moving to week 2, okay, of the Sports Only Challenge. And the Sports Only Challenge, as you know, is different to the other 3 challenges that are being run at the same time. Okay, the Sports Only Challenge is solely based on activity time. Okay, that's where it's different. We assume that your level of action when it comes to activity is at a higher level. And with that being said, there is one objective that I have in mind in designing this challenge. And that is for us all to do our very best to achieve the physical activity guidelines, the baseline guidelines actually of, as I said, physical activity. And they are 2 weight training sessions a week and at least 1 hour and 115 minutes to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity activity or cardiovascular exercise, or not and, or 2.5 minutes, 2.5 hours, to 5 hours. Okay, 2.5 hours to 5 hours of moderate intensity physical activity or cardiovascular exercise. I will define vigorous and I'll define moderate in our future videos to come. So that's the objective. I know you've got your own personal objective, seeing yourself progressively improve. Okay, but that's something that's very much front of mind. And speaking of progressive improvement, another specific element to do with this program is the do-it-yourself fitness testing. Okay, the do-it-yourself fitness testing. Following on from this video, you'll receive 3 tests. I step through 3 do-it-yourself tests that'll allow you to assess your muscle strength and endurance. Okay, so you'll have your activity time all set and ready to go on INKIN, monitoring that, seeing improvements, but we're going to set a baseline measure and we're going to be measuring that. You can measure it whenever you want, but measuring that in week 1 or day 1 or week 1, and at the end of week 4 or close to day 30. So once you've watched those videos, please, I encourage you, do those 3 tests as quick as you possibly can. Okay, so as a supplement to this program, we're looking at the competitive edge, looking at getting the most of our bodies and the most of our minds. Okay, the Sports Only program, or Sports Only Challenge, that's what it's all about. So things that we're going to be covering off in the Lunch and Learns, beyond the information I get from your Q&A, that's in our next Lunch and Learn. Okay, other things that we're going to be covering off, okay, in the Lunch and Learns and also in that one email. Yes, one additional email that you'll be getting from me per week are optimal nutrition. So we're going to be looking at strategies associated with optimal nutrition. How can we optimize our nutrition to get the most of our body, to get the most of our mind? So nutrition. We're going to explore fasting. Okay, look at the research behind fasting and how that can improve in our performance, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. We'll touch into meditation and emotional intelligence. There's some nice little, symbiotic relationships, how this all ties into, literally us being our very, very best versions of ourselves. So you have a suite, I should say, of different topics that we're going to be covering off that are directly linked to performance and getting that competitive advantage. Okay, all right. So why we are doing this? So I've asked for you to explore your why. Okay, but if I think about it from my perspective, the reasons why I decided to run this challenge is, one, to obviously provide you with a challenge, okay, that's going to stretch you, that's going to allow you to grow physically, mentally, and emotionally. I want to be able to share the latest up-to-date research so you can have, I suppose, more of an educated approach to some of the decisions that you might make in the future to do with your nutrition, to do with your training, maybe also to do with your self-awareness and self-reflection, okay? The vision moving forward, as I think about the next steps moving forward, okay, is, for us all to be part of some, high intensity or big physically stretched community event down the track. For us all to achieve the physical activity guidelines for adults and exceed them. But most importantly, to come from a place of inspiration, when it comes to training. So not being told, that you have to go and exercise and need these prompts and reminders. It's just something that you do. And for some of you, you're already there. So you're looking at raising your standards. So thinking about raising standards, another vision out into the future is look at DIY testing, any other baseline test, and for you to smash that out of the park, and for you to be the talk of the town, okay? So bit of an insight into this sports only challenge. I'm looking forward to sharing the lunch and learns in the next couple of days to the next week, and that weekly correspondence. If you have any questions in regards to onboarding with InKin, make sure you get in contact with myself or with Mel as soon as possible, and I really look forward to seeing you shortly. Take care and chat soon. Bye.